Hi Capricorn, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing some preoccupation. It feels almost like you could be stressing a little bit about something. It's like maybe you're going into something and you kind of don't know how it's going to be. Something like that. I'm seeing a running shoe here. Okay, so you're working on something. You could be like studying something. You could be learning something new, something about a learning curve. It's like intaking new information, maybe figuring out how to apply. It's like, okay, so I'm seeing someone. I'm looking at the Eight of Pentacles. I'm seeing somebody that is like reading information, or you're like in a class, something like that. So it's like theoretically you're getting this information in like whatever ways that it is that you're receiving this. And now it's come time to actually pragmatically be using this. This is what I'm seeing. And when I say pragmatically, it's like real life now. How do we apply this information? How do we use this information that we've been learning? You making yourself well versed with this information and continuing to work on it is what's going to help you. It's like maybe if you haven't been taking your studies as seriously or like really committing to this, it's something that you may want to change, like habit wise. Yeah, I'm getting something like that. It's almost like if you've been resisting, like completely immersing yourself in something, this is about figuring out what has been blocking you from doing that and like going full throttle in the direction of what this new thing is that you're taking in, or what it is that you're expanding further upon. That's what's going to make it pay off for you. And you're going to see the type of return that you're looking for as well. I'm also hearing something about being generous with your time. And now I'm hearing something about a creative structure. There also may be somebody that you're getting together with that may be able to give you some type of creative help, creative assistance, creative advice. They could be advising you. They could be guiding you in some sort of way. This can be a friend or a friend of a friend, someone you're familiar with. It feels somewhat unofficial, but it's like this person may have valuable information that could help you, because I'm seeing like they may be like a highly motivated and or creative individual, and there's somebody that may be able to... I'm looking at a fire sign here, although it doesn't need to be a fire sign, but we're talking about somebody that's coming through with the energy of a fire sign. So this is either about you tapping into that aspect of your chart, or this is you seeking this in a person externally. And with the fire, when it comes together with the earth sign, this is something that's going to push you into action. So that is the whole premise of this interaction, is what I'm hearing. It's like somebody to get you moving, get you going. And it's through inspiration. Like that's how this person works, or how when you tap into this part of yourself, that's how it motivates you. I'm hearing because we learn best when we are intrigued. Side note, I'm also seeing something too, before when I was referring to like maybe not fully immersing yourself in what it is that you've been learning about or studying or this knowledge that you're accumulating, you're also being guided to be creative with the ways that you use your time and how you allot your time as well. Because for some of you too, you may have been like maybe doing things socially or branching out socially, and it could have been like detracting from the time you wanted to take to focus on like your studies or whatever this branch of information is. And there's a sense of like you can still socialize, but you want to find a way to be able to have that balance that you're looking for. Because for some of you, there's a sense of like really enjoying being around people. So there's a sense of like not wanting to completely cut yourself off from that. Because it's like when we do all work and no play, there's a sense of things like kind of getting off balance in that way. And you may find that you get like some of your most important inspiration from those social interactions that you get. Funny, I'm hearing specifically something about a group of women. Maybe a particular message. If you're in a committed relationship or something that's more serious, a marriage, things like that, you may feel like interacting with this person at this time feels a bit stressful to you. It's like one of your primary relationships. It's like when you interact with this person, maybe you're walking away feeling more stressed out, or like it's bringing some type of stress to your life. So this is also something that's being recognized. I'm getting this as somebody that you care for. I don't want to jump the gun. Give me a second. What I'm seeing is that it looks like the stress is actually coming from like not being committed to working with this person. Again, I'm seeing someone that you're like, this is one of your primary relationships. There's a sense of like needing to work through some stressful things, stressful situations or dynamics that you have with this person, but there's a sense of like not being committed to this. So it's like you're aware that there's an issue, but there's a sense of like maybe sometimes having a short temper or maybe walking away from things before they're resolved. I'm seeing something going on in the emotional frame. It's like maybe this is something when it comes to maybe wanting to work on, remember energies can always be reversed, work on like your depth of emotions here. Because it's like I'm seeing somebody that like wants to have fun and wants to socialize, yet there may be like a significant relationship that's being neglected. You may even recognize that an attitude you've been taking on has like maybe even been making things more difficult between you and this person. Maybe you're also realizing that you have two different ways, like communication styles of resolving issues, things like that. So now the Hanged Man is being called in. The Hanged Man appears when there's something that we need to see from a different perspective. There's something that we need to think about, something that we need to understand differently. It's a time to sit with yourself, a time to zoom out. It's also a time too that that alludes to us not having all of the information that we may need for something. And it looks like something that you have newly been starting. I'm hearing for the wrong reasons. Honestly, what this looks like to me is that there may be something that you just started engaging in, and it's like, maybe this was something, okay, you know when we do something and we kind of don't want to consciously be thinking about what it is that we're doing, so we kind of push that voice down. There may be something that you've newly started that is coming from a place of like ego or shadow, or you impulsively want to be doing this, but in looking at it further, you're going to understand like what has actually been motivating you to do this, because it kind of feels like something that you started that you're not understanding everything about yet, and so you may want to think twice about this. I like what I'm getting right now is that it's something that like has just begun, and so it can just as easily be stopped, whatever this is. Like, I'm seeing something that hasn't been fully, completely, like, committed to or engaged in. For some of you, this can even be, like, starting something with another party, things like that. Let's get further, because I'm seeing this can be about... There are a lot of different things this can come through as. It kind of feels almost like an alter ego vibe. That's kind of what this is feeling like too. It's like something that you may be doing on the low a little bit. Yeah, and my left arm was tingling around here. Yeah, it seems like you're going to be, if you choose to, there's a sense of balance that you're going to bring to this, because something has been going on that just doesn't seem kosher. I will say this, if this reading is relevant to you, it's either because you've been doing something that maybe you haven't been completely considering or thinking about, and there's a sense of needing to understand what your motivation is for this, and if you actually want to continue with it, because you may have made a choice that was like a more shadow choice, or maybe a place coming from like a trauma reaction, something like that. And it's something that if you think about it more, you're understanding that like that's not who you are, and it's not something you want to be doing or associating with. For others of you, this can be a partner that you're dealing with, somebody close to you, and like you are understanding that this is going on with your partner. So just to keep in mind, is what I'm seeing here. So there's a sense of focusing on the partnership in a different way, and maybe focusing on why you guys have been brought together and what you're meant to be doing together, what the purpose of all of this is. And what helps you is being the best collaborator that you can be. And being in that mindset where you're like, how do we compromise? How do we like start off on a new foot where things are working? And like, I'm here and I'm willing to work with you. I'm ready to work with you. Because there's a sense even of unwillingness. It's like things don't feel balanced to you because because of like the stress of either your behaviors or the behavior of your partner, and you feel like they're not being completely honest, is what I'm getting. It's like maybe some of you too feel like the person that you're with is kind of a player and that bothers you. But this could just be suspicions that you're having as well. So it's about also understanding where this is coming from. It's like, do you feel guilty about something? Is that where this is coming from? Or do you really think that's going on with your partner? Is this something that you want to be addressing with them? Do you also feel like, for some of you too, there could be a notion of being like, even facing your mortality in a certain way, and like sometimes when people are having like a midlife crisis or acting out, things like that, because you feel like you're losing something, because there's like a resistance to like things changing and your body changing and the way that people interact with you changing, and like the ways that you go about doing things and all of that. So there's like so much that's mixed into this that I'm seeing here. But yeah, it's all about like, if you want to feel like you're in an equal dynamic, there's absolutely some type of shadow behavior that needs to be addressed here. And I am seeing this be related to like sexuality to some degree, or a lack of emotional depth in a way. It's like maybe not wanting to tap into that vulnerable side, and maybe overcompensating in a sexual way for that, to put it frankly. But as soon as this is addressed, I'm seeing that something is going to be balanced out, and there's a sense of things like getting back on the right page for you. But there's a sense of absolutely needing to take action where you see fit, and maybe even bring something to light that you hadn't been speaking on before. For a small number of you, there definitely can be a worry about a third party. I'm also seeing that. It's like, this feels kind of like, for some of you, if you're cross-watching, that's honestly what this feels like to me. I'm not getting that that's like the prime message of this, but I'm definitely seeing that be in the space. Or like you feel like somebody had the opportunity to get involved with someone else is also what I'm seeing here. I am looking at Neptune, which rules Pisces. And I'm also I'm hearing Venus so strongly. I'm looking at Libra. Venus does rule Libra. Maybe you have a Neptune contact with this person too, and that's like having things feel more hazy. Because when we have a Neptune contact with someone, depending on the contact, there's a sense of like feeling so attracted to the person, yet you not seeing everything. But the thing with Neptune contacts, and maybe it's a Venus Neptune contact, the thing with Neptune contacts is that like sooner or later that facade rubs off, and then you see what's actually going on there. So that like that state of bliss and like being so enamored by someone, it only lasts for so long, and then it rubs off. So things are then revealed to you, and maybe this is a moment like that you're experiencing too. And so now it's time to do something about it. So it's like maybe things weren't what you thought that they were, and now you're understanding things differently, and now you want to go about doing something about it. Taking action. I'm seeing something here also about a reunion, and someone deciding like not to go or not to hang out with someone. I'm hearing after the fact. I'm just letting you know what's coming through, because I don't know what this is referring to for you personally in your life, so I'm just relaying information, my friends. Well, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.